So in that sense, can you bring us back to the founding of the Palestinian state, the culture of the Palestinian people? Because it brings me to crumbles when people say, like, denying the existence of the Palestinian people and the rich history of the Palestinian people. Like you said, the importance of the culture. How can people further empathize with the history of Palestine? Because in a way, Walter Benjamin said, story is told by the victors.
Yes.
But today, that is even darker, I think, because the private property of the means of production give the media power with the support of capital. So in a way, you can be alive and not be able to tell your story. And that's a way to be almost zombified, in a way, like have a dead discourse because nobody's listening. So what is important for people to understand about the history of Palestine in order for them to really see the difference between a pre-existing entity, the Palestinian state, and a colonizing effort, which is almost militarized, weaponized in a way for the United States and England to have a operational base in the region.
Yeah, I mean, I will first say that this lie of a land without people needs to be buried once and for all.
I agree.
It is absurd. It is obscene. Palestine is part of the cradle of civilization. It is where human history was written. It is where agriculture was born. It is where trade routes met, where prophets came from, where Jesus was born, where Palestinians, Christian, Muslim, and Jewish people lived in harmony. The oldest Christian communities are from Palestine. It is where ancient city like Jericho, the oldest inhabitable city, still remains today. Palestine is part of humanity. And to do what they're doing to Palestine is literally erasing part of the human origin. And Palestine was a bustling nation, place with diverse culture and history, like you said, with poets and intellectuals, with our own theaters, our own newspaper, living in beautiful, bustling cities like Jaffa and Haifa and Jerusalem. I think this for them, and it's also something that I think is me being Palestinian for them, should never be a negation of who they are. But that's exactly what it has been. And I could say that growing up being Palestinian, I spent most of my life in the US. And the idea of saying I'm Palestinian was something that was such a controversy. It was something that would be so upsetting to them to hear, because in their minds, you couldn't have existed because we were there.
Your affirmation is their denial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is something that has to be said, that this myth of Zionism, that they came to a land without people and they made that land bloom, is a lie.
Yeah.
We were there. We are the indigenous people of Palestine. We could tell you where our great-great-grandfathers and great-grandparents lived, where they're buried. The stories they tell us
The olive trees.
all the time, the olive trees. The olive trees, which makes you know who is native to that land. We would never burn an olive tree, which they do. So this is something I want everybody to realize, is that Palestine, also, it's not just its tragedy and suffering and the sorrow that you see, that we are a people that have a rich culture and history. We are so proud of who we are and where we come from.